So how can technology and advantages that we have in our world, so how can those things help us do that? In the first place, we can say that right now technologies give us very useful things. We can see things in just seconds. We can make a revolution because our smartphones and are equipped with cameras, so we can make videos and pictures. We can see accidents, tragedies, and disasters and actually stream them. We can see everything in the minute and the second when those historic things are happening. And that is very important. Secondly, this is access to information. Indeed, this is also important because we can make art and culture quite advanced, and because of the technology. We didn't have that 40 to 50 years ago. Access to information was obscured and difficult. There was a lot of disinformation. The World Wide Web, which we call WWW, has made the world very socialized. What is it giving us? It saves our time. It makes mobility much easier. We have much more advanced communication means. We also have cost effectiveness. You can save a lot of money. Innovations as well in many sectors, in art and culture, they're here. We have speeded up some of the activities. We can conduct forums and meetings online, and we can pursue much better learning methods and teaching methods. So I think it is worth taking advantage of the modern technologies in highlighting historic events and telling the story about them. So what are the methods that become more and more promising today? This is a question. I'd like to say more, not about the social and historic context, but more about art. How we as artists can have a use of that. But developing the advanced technologies, we can see that even last year, a lot of things changed because of the COVID-19 outbreak. And that's why experts realized that advanced technologies can be used to resolve some of those issues that we faced last year, as much as I understand. I don't know if you have any questions to me. I could discuss more about this one, or I could switch to something else. It would be better to have a dialogue, not just keep myself talking all the time. But I would like to finish by saying about the new emerging trends. I think there are two major trends. First one is, I'm going to speak in English because it's going to be much easier. Because some of the words that we're using came from English. I'm not sure if you understand those in Ukrainian. This is artificial intelligence. AI and machine learning. That's the first and a very important technology and trend, including for artists. So to me, this is one of the first trends that will help develop not only art and culture, but also everything in the world. It's going to be using the customer's behavioral model, for instance, and find, for instance, in the real time, something that this person wants or needs. Yes, with this huge scope of information that we have. So this AI and machine learning will help us see, and in our festival, Bienvenal, you're going to see a lot of work, or you have seen in the previous one as well, about the use of these new technologies. But we need to understand, however, that all these technologies are not just coming from the private sector, but mainly, first of all, most of those technologies are being developed by the military. A lot of them come from, for instance, the United States or China, and then they move to the private sector. That's very important to remember, because the military are the first ones normally to be developing the most state-of-the-art technologies. And then ourselves, the artists, or normal people, let's put it that way, we start using those as well. So it's important to understand where the technologies come from initially, what we're going to be using, and how would the military use that? Because as artists, we can talk about, okay, let's use video cameras just to show masterpieces or something, to actually shoot and then play back. Or we can, for instance, create movies. But video cameras were mostly used by Americans when there was a war in Vietnam. They just wanted to film how they used napalm. And the internet is another weapon initially. Maybe it is time right now to use artificial intelligence, which is going to give us an opportunity as artists, as common people who are not working for the official governments and institutions. Maybe this can help us. Maybe we have to think about how we develop our own technologies for our own use. Again, another thing is automatic process automation. Or this is about the emails, and these technologies will evolve. It all automates the workplace. So
тої технології. Третій пункт.
The third one, I don't know if you can hear me well. This is edge computing. This is the computing format which uses it is used to solve problems like the to resolve the issues of the cloud. It's related to shortening the latency from the cloud. It helps process data much faster and shorten latency. Because clouds creates a lot of latency. Number 4, it's called quantum computing. What we know about this, we know very little about it. We know there is a computer somewhere, and somebody is using it to make use multiple processes over the internet. This is a computing format which uses quantum features. That's quite an innovative solution. It helps control and analyze data, and this is independently done from the source, which is also very important. So you don't need to have any connection to the source. Number 5 is VR, virtual reality, and augmented reality. VR and AR. We've already seen the virtual reality examples on our webinar. It is quite an innovative technology that everybody is very fascinated about. Number 6, this is blockchain. You know, a blockchain offers a security to buy a lot of things. This is a secure way of buying things. You can buy artworks and whatever you want. Blockchain uses and works with Bitcoin. It's the most famous cryptocurrency. And then number 7, there's Internet of Things. We're using that a lot. This is Wi-Fi. Now there are a lot of things are out there. Many things are working through the Wi-Fi. Internet of Things is used broadly right now. It helps us connect different gadgets, devices, and many other things. Number 8 is 5G. The technology for our smartphones to provide us with very, very high-speed internet, and this is like the most advanced communication technology. Many people complain that 5G will be trying to keep us under control, but there are a lot of conspiracy theories. And number 9 is cybersecurity. This is quite a trendy technology aimed at protecting systems and people from hackers. I'm not sure if those 9 bullet points mean something to you, but to me, this is the most important ones are bullet 1 and bullet 2 for culture and history. And it seems to me the future depends on how we're using these technologies. Is there going to be any change in our historic agenda? The problem is that we can have a technology, but we don't know how to properly use it. That's another opinion that I wanted to share with you. How are we using those technologies? And not only ourselves, but the other people as well who are working in the sectors of technology. They know a lot about technologies, they know how they function, but what's going to happen with those millions and millions of people who do not have a possibility to use the technology or don't even know about it? I think 50% of the world will be aware and use the technologies. I mean, the newest ones, and another part of the world will be trying to catch up. So technology is about continuous learning. We, the artists, and those people who try to take care about art, we have to be greatly involved in this. Thank you very much, Iury, for a very, very cool description of the technologies available today, or those that are in the pipeline and those that are important for the development of things and to learn more about the historic events and heritage. But of course, cautious understanding and use of these technologies will help us evolve and really grow. Thanks to these technologies, we're becoming more and more super people. And the magic that they were talking about in the medieval ages is now here, right now. So we can see each other at the distance, we can hear each other at the distance, we can move in time and process incredible amounts of information. Every second, we can have access to the information we need, or an information that we store. Most importantly is to understand what kind of information we need at all. And I think all those bullet points, all the 9, are very interesting, and they're very important to develop our world today and develop our society, because we're very closely linked with those technologies, and each of those 9 have been actively developing lately, and therefore we need to take a responsible attitude to this, because this will affect lives of our descendants.